Ashen Dawn, Midnight War, Book 2. Written by Adam Fernandez, narrated by Eden Gabay. Epigraph. Ashen dawn will descend from the heavens, masking their light from the darkness of this realm. They shall tread the path of mortals, measuring the depth of their conviction. If found wanting, the 9 worlds will be cleaved by their smouldering hand and voice, for only through flame and pressure can new life be cast. An excerpt from the Holy Scripture, Book of Judgment, Chapter 2, verses 10 through 15. Prologue. Alias, 3592 UET, until Walden, Earth. Alias looked up at the sun, or at least where it should have been. He couldn't see it save for the faintest glow. In fact, the thickness of the ash in the air made it so he didn't even need to avert his eyes at all. His watch was broken, but he looked at it out of habit. It hadn't been very long since the initial blasts, but he was becoming disoriented. The iron cage continued its periodic bombardment of the surface with maximum efficiency. There was a mass exodus in the early moments of the disaster, but they didn't get far. The starships were quickly cut down by the cage's ion guns as they attempted to escape the atmosphere. Only a few brave or desperate people attempted to flee now. There was hesitation in his steps. The feeling of uncertainty that settled in his chest was an unfamiliar one. Alias had not felt anything like it since long before he left his home for this system. His plan had been progressing well, and then in an instant he lost control of the situation. He tried to convince himself that this was only a setback, but he was forced to admit it was now one of many mistakes. The husk continued to achieve victories, even after so many centuries, while his personal victories became far more sporadic. His exo-armor died hours earlier, so he had abandoned it on the roadside. Still, he wandered from burned-out town to burned-out town, seeing few survivors. Alias was looking for any kind of escape or refuge, but he still hadn't found his salvation. It was the same story for the tired souls he encountered wandering the woods.
Was it the lucky or unlucky who survived the initial blasts?
His armor had helped save him, but the desolate, burning landscape around him made it obvious that most weren't so fortunate. Bodies were everywhere. The few who survived wandered or huddled in their homes, praying for deliverance. He knew the odds of their survival were infinitesimally small. He had done the calculations. The odds of his own survival, however, were over 90%, and yet here he still was, stranded, wandering alone amongst the detritus of empire, looking for salvation like the others. He needed to get to the closest research facility as soon as possible. Thoughts of home and family came unbidden and unwelcome to his mind as he wandered. The probability of having a family had always been low for him, but he had achieved it here on Earth, and now was haunted by their absence. His love, Eresh, had abandoned him earlier, leaving with her servant, Namtar, to places unknown, so strong was her renouncement of his methods. She even convinced others from their crew to abandon him.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.